So if you're trying to make it on YouTube, you've probably felt that grind, right? You're putting in all the work, you're following all the advice, but you're just not seeing the results. Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're deconstructing that common wisdom to get to the heart of what actually works. Because honestly, the advice you've been following might be the very thing holding you back.
Does this sound familiar? I mean, you're uploading on a schedule, you found your niche, you're using all the little tricks you've heard about, but the channel's just flat. You are not alone in this, I promise, and it's not because you're lazy or not good enough. The problem, a lot of the time, is the advice itself.
And this is the core idea we have to get our heads around. The algorithm doesn't care how hard you worked. It doesn't see those late nights you spent editing. It only sees performance. And that means two things. Do people click on your video? And do they stick around to watch it? That's it. That is the entire game. So why is so much of the advice out there just wrong for so many people? Well, it's what we can call the guru growth trap. It's basically advice given from a place of success that just doesn't apply when you're starting from scratch.
Now, here's the thing. It's not that these gurus are trying to trick you. Not at all. They're sharing what works for them right now, today, with a huge audience that already knows, likes, and trusts them. But the key thing to remember is that they built that audience playing by a totally different set of rules. Their advice is completely out of context for a new creator with zero momentum. All right, let's really break this down. We'll start with the first big category, the myths of misplaced effort. These are all the things that make you feel productive, but in reality, they just burn you out for almost no return.
Oh man, we've all heard this one a million times. Just be consistent. Upload 3 times a week. It's probably the most common piece of YouTube advice out there. But here's the thing. Consistency all by itself is not the magic fix everyone claims it is. This really lays it out, doesn't it? The guru advice on the left is like an assembly line. Just keep pushing content out. But the reality for a small creator, there on the right, is that it's all about effectiveness. Being consistent at making videos nobody watches just means you get really good at failing. It is so much better to spend all that energy making one video that actually works than 3 that just disappear. And here's another classic trap. You're told to find some tiny, undiscovered corner of YouTube and become the king of it. Look, being focused is good, but obsessing over the perfect niche before you have any idea what works, that can seriously limit your chances of ever having a breakout hit. So the guru advice tells you to build this perfect, tiny box for your content. But the reality? The way channels actually grow is by launching one thing, just one, that hits an emotional nerve with a wider audience. Your goal isn't really to define a niche, it's to find one great idea that makes a ton of people feel something and makes them click. Okay, with TikTok and Reels everywhere, this has become the new gospel, right? Post a bunch of shorts, get a ton of subscribers, and boom, your channel takes off. But if your goal is to build a long-form video channel, this can be a really, really dangerous path. And here's the reason why. The audience you get from shorts, well, they want more shorts. They subscribe because they like your 60-second videos. So when you try to show them a 10-minute deep dive, most of them just aren't interested. It's like building a giant following by giving away free candy and then trying to sell them car insurance. You've got the wrong audience for your product.
You know, it's not just about getting the strategy wrong. There's this whole other set of myths that I call premature polish. This is when you focus on all the stuff that feels professional, but is a total waste of time when you're just trying to get your first views.
Does this list look familiar? Maybe a little stressful? You're told you need it all. The crazy fast edits, the slick no-go, a professional intro, a catchphrase, and you have to be posting clips everywhere. But the truth is, this is all just window dressing. If the idea for the video itself isn't good, none of this polish matters. It's like optimizing an engine that hasn't even been started yet.
This is the bottom line right here. Nobody in the history of YouTube has ever subscribed to a brand new channel because they had a cool banner. People click on a video because the idea, communicated through the title and thumbnail, promises them something they actually want. The idea is everything. The branding only matters way, way later.
Okay, so we have torn down a lot of the bad advice. Now, let's build something better. If all that other stuff doesn't really matter at the start, what does? Well, it all boils down to a really simple blueprint focused on the only thing that earns you a click. This is it. This is the whole thing. The real secret isn't some complicated strategy. It's just a ruthless focus on these 3 things. T plus T plus H. Title, thumbnail, and hook. If you're a new creator, this is all you should be obsessing over, period.
So first up is the title, and it is number one for a reason. A title is not a label for your video, it is a sales pitch. Its job isn't to perfectly describe what's inside, its job is to make a potential viewer so curious that they just have to find out what you're talking about. It's the headline that has to win the click before anything else can happen. Next up, the thumbnail. And you can think of it like a movie poster, sure, but its real job is to be a visual question. So many new creators try to make their thumbnails look professional, which usually just means clean and, honestly, kind of boring. Your goal isn't to look professional. Your goal is to create an image that makes someone stop scrolling and think, wait, what is going on there?
And finally, the hook. Okay, they've clicked. Awesome. Now you've got maybe 10 seconds max to convince them to stay. And you do that by opening a story loop. So instead of saying, hi, in this video I'm going to talk about, you say something like, there are 3 mistakes that are killing your channel, and the last one is the one you're probably making right now. See? Suddenly, clicking away feels like you're going to miss out. All right, I want to finish up here by completely reframing how you think about your channel right now. It might feel like being small is a huge disadvantage, but I'm telling you, it's actually your single greatest strength. It's a superpower. Just look at this comparison. Big channels are often prisoners of their own success, right? Their audience expects a certain kind of video, and if they change it up too much, people get upset. But you have total freedom. You can try crazy ideas, you can take huge risks, you can completely change your channel's direction overnight, and nobody will even notice. That freedom to experiment is everything. So this is what it all comes down to. Forget about this big, vague idea of growing a channel. It's overwhelming, and it's not really an actionable goal. Your only mission should be this: make one video that does better than your average, just one. Because real growth on YouTube isn't a slow, steady climb. It's a series of spikes, and every single one of those spikes starts with one video that worked. And that leads us to the one question that truly matters. The next time you're about to publish a video, forget about how much work you put into it. Just look at the title and the thumbnail and ask yourself, honestly, if I were a complete stranger who knew nothing about me or my channel, would I actually care enough to click on this? The answer to that question, that's the key to everything.